When you picture the wonders of the ancient world, the pyramids of Giza are probably front and center. These giant stone structures, built with blocks heavier than your average SUV and probably about as old as your grandma's favorite rug, still baffle even the best engineers today. Now, mainstream archaeologists say the Egyptians did it with basic tools like hammers and chisels. Sure, if you consider a copper chisel a high-tech gadget. But what if those ancient builders had some secret lost tech, like ancient power tools we don't even know about yet? Maybe the Egyptians had a Home Depot in 2500 BC. The unthinkable scale of ancient stonework. Imagine this. You've got a block of stone weighing 100 tons, about the weight of 100 family cars crammed together. Now picture trying to move that, lift it, and position it perfectly to fit into an ancient temple. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But guess what? That was just a warm-up for ancient builders. While the blocks used in the pyramids are impressive enough at 2 to 3 tons each, the stones used in places like the Valley temples were monsters, weighing up to 200 tons. Why would the ancient builders choose such enormous blocks? They didn't have a shortage of stone, so why not make things harder, right? It's almost as if they were playing a gigantic game of how big can we go? Forget about over-engineering, this is next level. Using stones as big as a semi-truck doesn't just speak to strength, it shouts, "We're here to flex our ancient muscles." And yet, this choice of materials is still puzzling today, considering they didn't have cranes or fancy tools to handle it. So, were they just extra ambitious, or did they have some secret tech that made lifting these behemoths a walk in the park? Could ancient Egyptians have used advanced tools? When we dive into the world of ancient Egyptian construction, we're often told they used the most basic tools imaginable: copper chisels, stone balls, and sand. Sand? That's the high-tech secret to cutting through some of the hardest rocks on Earth? Really? Well, not according to Chris Dunn, an engineering expert who's been studying Egyptian tools for years. Dunn's research suggests the Egyptians might have had access to tools we can only dream of today, possibly even machines that are completely off our radar. Imagine trying to cut and position 2.5 million perfectly fitted stone blocks for the Great Pyramid with nothing but a copper chisel. The sheer precision and scale of the work just don't add up. Dunn's convinced that the ancient Egyptians were not just clever, they were advanced, with a technology we might still be missing. Could they have had the ancient version of a power tool? A giant saw that we're yet to uncover. It's almost like thinking they built the pyramids using a hammer and a nail, and somehow a miracle of engineering happened. Maybe their tech was lost in time, waiting for us to find it. The clue at Abu Rawash, the mystery of the giant saw. One of the key discoveries in Dunn's research came when he was inspecting an ancient site at Abu Rawash, located several miles north of the Giza Plateau. There, he found a granite block with a peculiar feature: a deep, precise cut that was unlike anything he had ever seen. Initially baffled by this anomaly, Dunn pondered over the cut for days, even waking up in the middle of the night to contemplate how it could have been made. After much contemplation, Dunn realized that the only plausible explanation for this kind of cut was the use of a giant saw, one that could measure up to 35 feet in diameter. The idea that ancient Egyptians used giant saws to cut stone has faced substantial resistance from mainstream archaeologists, who insist that such technology did not exist at the time. However, Dunn's background as a machinist and his attention to detail in analyzing tool marks on ancient artifacts convinced him that these marks were the result of mechanical tools, not simple hand tools or basic equipment. His research points to the possibility that the ancient Egyptians had access to a level of technology that modern archaeologists have yet to fully understand. The saw pits of Giza, a new perspective. Dunn's theory doesn't stop with the giant saw, he takes it further with an intriguing discovery at Giza. For years, archaeologists have assumed that the large depressions found in the ground were boat pits, where ancient Egyptians supposedly stored their boats. But Dunn had a light bulb moment. What if these pits weren't for boats at all, but were actually designed to hold the massive saws used to cut the colossal stone blocks for the pyramids? Picture this: giant saws, mounted in these depressions, slicing through stone like a hot knife through butter. Talk about precision. Suddenly, we're not just talking about men with chisels and hammers. We're looking at mechanical tools capable of cutting stone with jaw-dropping accuracy. This revelation throws out the traditional narrative that ancient Egyptians relied solely on muscle power and hand tools. Could it be that these lost technologies were the secret behind the precision of the pyramids? If done as right, we may be looking at a whole new chapter in our understanding of ancient engineering, one where the past might be far more advanced than we ever gave it credit for. The mystery deepens, and it looks like the Egyptians were cutting edge in ways we've yet to fully grasp. The role of ancient technologies. The notion that ancient civilizations had access to advanced technologies is not a new one. For years, proponents of alternative history have suggested that extraterrestrials may have played a role in helping early human societies achieve such incredible feats of engineering. While this theory remains controversial, it is undeniable that some form of advanced knowledge or technology was likely used to construct the great monuments of the ancient world. Whether this knowledge was passed down from an unknown ancient civilization or was the result of a now-lost technology remains a mystery. One thing is certain: the construction of monumental structures like the pyramids required more than just sheer manpower and basic tools. The precision and scale of the work suggests that the builders had access to technologies that allowed them to manipulate materials in ways that seem impossible by today's standards. Many ancient artifacts, such as the intricately carved stones found in places like Peru, further suggest that the builders had techniques that we still don't fully understand. Some scholars argue that these technologies may have been lost due to natural disasters, warfare, or simply a gradual decline in knowledge. Whether these technologies were the result of innovation, a lost civilization, or even extraterrestrial influence, one thing is clear: ancient engineering was far more advanced than we give it credit for. The mystery of how these civilizations achieved such monumental feats continues to fuel research and speculation, with each discovery bringing us closer to unlocking the secrets of the past. The case for lost technologies. As we dig deeper into the past and dust off ancient ruins, one thing becomes clear: we might be on the edge of discovering a whole new chapter in history. The evidence is piling up, and it's getting harder to ignore. Could ancient civilizations have used technologies that have since vanished into the sands of time? Picture this: strange tool marks, artifacts that don't quite fit the accepted timeline, and structures that defy our understanding of engineering. It's like we've been reading a mystery novel, only to realize we've missed the plot twist. The world's most famous monuments might be far more mind-blowing than we ever imagined. What if the ancients had construction tools or techniques that were ahead of their time? Just like today's machines help us build skyscrapers and highways, ancient builders could have had their own version of power tools that allowed them to achieve feats we thought were impossible. There are examples of precise stone cutting and placement that suggest an advanced understanding of geometry and material science. The real wow moment in archaeology might not be a dusty old scroll, but a whole new way of thinking about ancient engineering. The next big discovery could be as simple as rethinking everything we thought we knew about the past. Maybe those ancient builders were just as creative, and maybe, just maybe, they had some lost tech that we can only dream of. As we continue to explore and uncover ancient sites, it's possible that we are only scratching the surface of what was once possible in human history. This paradigm shift could completely redefine our understanding of what ancient civilizations were capable of. If you think ancient Egyptians were just chiseling away with their bare hands, think again. Hit that like button if you're ready to rethink everything you thought you knew about ancient tech. Don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping mysteries and mind-blowing discoveries, because we're just getting started.